Hello, everybody. It's David here. It's the end of the transfer window, and I'm trying out this new-fangled live broadcast facility, which Patreon are beta testing at the moment. And obviously, if this works, it's something we can do again in the future and do for other types of content. And clearly, the first thing I can say is that I'll need a better webcam. Obviously, I've been suspicious of webcams over the years because I think the type of people who have a webcam are the type of people who like to film themselves while sticking their finger up their arse and masturbating, because the only person I know who's ever owned a webcam is Mark. So you can see why I've been concerned. Anyway, that's not why you're here, is it? You're here because you want to know about Rangers' last minute transfer window activity, and there was none, unfortunately. Now, of course, something may come out overnight, and the paperwork may have been done, and Rangers just holding it till tomorrow morning. Long journey back from Fraserburgh, not just for the guys that played tonight and the playing staff, but obviously the media team are up there as well. So there could well be something that comes out tomorrow, but I don't think that there will be. I think Rangers were quite happy with the business that we've done through the window. Did look into a couple of things, did look at Ollie McBurney, as we know, and he held on for as long as he could. Fair play to Ollie. By the way, I'm not wearing my pyjamas talk here. It is actually a Rangers talk, just in case you think I'm on staunch or whatever. Now I wear his pyjamas because, you know, that's who I am, right? Funnily enough, actually, I was up the stairs the other night having moved back to Kilwinning, and I came out of the bath and I was listening to Big Country's The Crossing, and I put on my pyjamas, and I realised that essentially my life hasn't changed since 1983 in that regard. But Rangers were, potentially looking at bringing in Oliver McBurney. I think it was more if the Morelos deal was going to go through. Now, you've heard from Graham Murphy tonight that the Morelos deal, I mean, I think it's like an angry more than anything else. The Morelos deal didn't happen, but I think he's a bit worried that the player's head might have been turned given the money that had been mentioned to him, and from what he said, I don't think he believes that's realistic, that's what will be on the table for Alfredo Morelos should he get to talk to this club, which obviously he hasn't been able to do so far. So yeah, it shows you that the professionalism at the club in terms of the fact that they did immediately go out looking for another player to come in, and Ollie McBurney was the one we chose, and it would have been a loan because they didn't want to rush out and spend money in the last day of the window, get somebody who comes in, panic buy if you like, and then in the summer we're left with another Eduardo Pereira situation where we've spent a lot of money on a player that we can't actually do anything with, and that was something that they were really not keen on. And I understand that. I think that's quite sensible from the club's point of view. The other target that's been mentioned today was Jack Hendry. Now, Rangers never firmed up an interest in him. They looked at him, earlier in the season, all through the season, and had at the start of the window other targets. Today, if they were thinking about maybe should they go in and put in a bid, it didn't bother because they knew that it would probably lead to bidding more with Celtic, and of course you would end up with Celtic beat Rangers to Jack Hendry or outbid, because there's some people in the media that love to run stories like that. So Rangers would want to give them the opportunity. Of course, you and I both know that it won't stop them from running that story. They probably already written from the first moments that Celtic were involved in this really complex transfer triangle with Dundee and Hibs, where Hibs cancelled the loan they had for Scott Bain, the Dundee goalkeeper, so he could go to Celtic, and then in return for that, Dundee let Scott Allen go to Hibs, and they then let Simon Murray go to Dundee, and Jack Hendry went to Celtic, and there was this weird sort of three-way going on between the clubs, which is a horrible mental image. And Neil McCann would have obviously preferred Jack Hendry to come to us, but Rangers never firmed up their interest, deciding that they were happy enough with what we got, because obviously at the end of this window we still have Bruno Alves, we still have Fabio Cardoso, as we saw tonight. We've got David Bates, we've got Ross McCrory coming back, we've got Russell Martin, and the feeling is quite rightly Rangers are covered in that position. I think we would all agree. If there's one area of the field that we are pretty solid in, good competition for places, you would say that it's in there. Of course, Danny Wilson has left. That's correct. But Russell Martin is your direct replacement, if you like, in terms of our body going in there. But I think if you said us at the start of the window, you're going to get the players in that you've got. You're going to get rid of Pena. We probably wanted a couple more other players out the door, but it didn't happen. And the good thing is that although it didn't happen, it didn't stop us getting in the players that we've got. I think we're all excited by Doherty. I think we're all excited, or most of us. I've seen one or two by Jason Cummings. I think that we both. With both of them coming in, that's exactly the type of signing that we're needing, and I think it's been a really good window for Rangers. Absolutely, Russell Martin, he brings that experience. Sean Goss looks as though he brings something different. I mean, that's the key thing in a window. You know, we didn't need another Jason Holt or Andy Halliday. We needed someone who could do something different. And already Sean Goss has shown with his range of passing and the way he gets on the ball and he drives his team forward simply because he's always looking to make that forward pass, and he's a really classy player. And I think that, you know, on top of that, we've brought in Declan John permanently as well, which is a good job because we're clearly very short at left back at the moment. Lee Wallace not being ready to come in. I think Lee Hodgson is not a particularly reliable left back solution, I think is fair to say. So yeah, overall Rangers, I think we're very happy with the window. What can we take from it as a fans? Well, we've got good signings. We had a window that, rather than get to the end of it and be bloody unhappy, or one of these windows which I absolutely hate, you know, the ones where we have to go, no, we can't judge until February the 1st, and then we keep saying that, February the 1st comes and we go, fucking knew it. I knew that was going to happen. Well, it's kind of nice that didn't happen that many weeks in advance of it, that even if we didn't get anyone in on the last day, that we would be able to say, well, we've gone ahead and we've had a pretty good window. So I've had the phone kind of sitting here and had the feelers out, and you know, the guys who go up to Ibrox at late in the day and go up talking to them and say, is there anyone else who is arriving, and I'm not seeing it at the moment. And I admire all these guys. My excuse for the guys who go out and do stuff like this is that I've never learned to drive, so I can't get to looking at it. Obviously, otherwise I would. But yeah, I think we've had a really good window. I think we are all now kind of sitting going, do you know what, we can have a right good go at the rest of the season, and that's the main thing for us. And if you look at the opposition clubs, Aberdeen have brought in a couple of players, and they've won again tonight, we've shown, but we've shown in this spell that Aberdeen should be of no concern, because we know what Aberdeen do. Aberdeen knock off teams who aren't Rangers and Celtic, and we know that if we raise our game to level it should be against everybody else where we'll be. Celtic have signed a couple of young Scottish players similar to ourselves and brought in a loan similar to ourselves, and you know, despite what we've been told about the Celtic loan signing being, you know, more valuable than Neymar and Cristiano Ronaldo's spunk mixed together, time will tell. I mean, there's no reason to get particularly excited, and of course, I'm left with the £40 million man, because after an attempt at a sale that was, honestly, I've never seen anything like it since the last few days of what every woman wants closing down. You know, they were selling dresses for 50p, and stampede of sort of middle-aged women that were going to that place. But the Celtic didn't even have their equivalent of middle-aged women, and now they've got an overweight guy who desperately doesn't want to be there for another 6 months. So we've had a better window than I would say pretty much any of the clubs at the top of the Scottish Premier League, and that's fantastic. What can we take as lessons from it, or if you like, as overarching things that have come out of this window? Well, I think the main one is that it's quite clear that the board are now letting Mark Allen run the football side of the business, and that's great. And you could argue, you know, you can always argue if you have the right man for any job. But if you decide that it's a job that needs done, you have to allow the man you've chosen to do it. And if Rangers decided they wanted to go the director of football model, and they did, then they had to let the guy they'd chosen go and do what the job was supposed to be. And at first, we weren't. At first, I think Rangers were. I think at first Rangers were far too reluctant to, or nervous is probably the right word. The Rangers board were unsure, they didn't really know, they hadn't done it before, they hadn't experienced of it, and it was kind of like they had one foot in the water and one foot on the land, whereas now Mark Allen's clearly being allowed to do the job within the budgetary constraints that he has, obviously. I mean, it's well known Mark Allen would like to have more in terms of a footprint in Europe, to be able to get players, and then people say, well, we seem to be concentrating on Britain. Well, that's where our strength in scouting lies at the moment. But he's looking to develop that. You see with the youth coaching, with my future best friend who doesn't know it yet, Kevin Thompson, etc., Gregory Vignal coming in, that they're putting loads of stuff in place, and I think that's down to Mark Allen being allowed to get on with the job and put in place his vision, the vision which got him the job, the vision which impressed them enough to hire him. So time will tell whether Mark Allen's the right guy. I mean, it's like football manager. You can have 2, 3, 4, 8 years and then a bad year and get sacked. That's most football careers end in failure. But we had to let him at least go and do the job. He works well with Graham Murty. They seem to sing from the same hymn sheet. And this transfer window and winter break has allowed Graham Murty, I think, to develop a confidence that was hitherto unseen. He's looked a million miles away from the guy we saw at Dundee that night, when we genuinely feared what the job was doing to him. Unrecognisable now from that guy. You just need to look at his interview tonight. You just need to look at the way he expressed his disappointment with the performance, or the way he said, well, Josh Van Dijk's got a hat-trick, they should have done better, and he needs to do what we're telling him. I mean, that's not the kind of thing we'd have got from him a few months ago, and I think this transfer window has allowed him to work closely with the director of football, to feel like he's the manager, and to stamp his personality a little bit more on the squad. And it does feel like this is now a different squad from the Pedro one. It feels that way, and that's a key thing, that we don't think that we've just got a moribund side, or a side that I think already reached the end of the cycle, that we've maybe tried to paper over a couple of cracks with. It looks as though we've put things in place for the longer term. So it'll be interesting to see him go forward. How certain players use Dalvez as a case in point, because he wants to play, he wants to go to the World Cup in Russia, and he needs to play to do that. So you would expect that he will be trying with all he has to get into that first team. There's obviously a spot there for him, given his experience and his pedigree, and if his form is such, then he'll go into that setting. But I think it's also clear that Graham Murty spoke about Russell Martin, that he really admires him and he wants him to be in the first team. So lots of stuff to get excited about. As I say, we didn't get any maybe last minute deal or someone coming in, but say for example that we didn't get, or we had gotten some loanee from Manchester City, who cares, really, that's the kind of thing. You get an ad in the Manning and you try to convince yourself, but has kind of shown us what those sort of deals for deal's sake lead to. So, that all in all, very good. Tonight's match, for those of you who haven't listened yet, the post-match pod is up, and we'll go into more detail on it tomorrow. Now, the Fraserburgh ticket issue is something obviously we're aware of, same as you guys, but we want to kind of look into it and ideally talk to people who were there to find out what it was. But it looks like a massive balls up, and if players who had tickets, genuine tickets, were refused, that's a shocker. That should not happen. It's inexcusable, and they need to be apologised, compensated. But even at that, the loss of time and to go all the way up there and the frustration. So we're going to look into that a little bit, but we will talk about it on Heartland Extra, the free flagship that goes out tomorrow. We'll also have the Millennial Bears, and I'm going to be recording with Happy Jack tomorrow. I'm going to make my debut on Rangers Better Members. I'm not forcing myself on him. He's asked me onto the show because we're doing Gaza. And Gaza, of course, is too much for any one man. That takes a two-man team to wrestle with him. But I'm really looking forward to that one. So lots to be getting on with. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's worked. Otherwise, I've just been sitting there talking. I did mention earlier, I think webcams were for wanking. Well, I've been basically been sitting here for the last 10 minutes or so, playing with myself. So I hope that you can see it, and so I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying the site. I mean, the feedback is really good, and that's great. And we don't get that and go, oh, we must be doing brilliantly, we don't need to change anything. I mean, we're really responsive. Hopefully, you see that. And we want to do new things, and we want to do better things, and we want to keep improving, because we feel very grateful to be able to do this. And we feel that we owe you a good service and a good product and an entertaining product and an interesting product, and one that doesn't insult your intelligence, and one that shows you, how good we want this to be, and we want you to be a part of it. And that's why the opportunity is there for anyone who's watching or listening to do their own show, or to come and be part of existing shows. The opportunities are there for everyone, because we're a community here, and to have gone from nothing to this, to genuinely feeling like I'm part of a community on here, and I do. As well as being a Rangers supporter, I feel like I'm part of the Heart and Hand Patreon universe, and I love when people just start knocking about jokes. And I've been involved in social media projects or message boards or whatever, where things go to shit really quickly because you get some people come on and act like dicks, and it hasn't happened here. And I'm not going to let it happen there, but it's remarkable. It just shows you the type of people that are following us, people that just genuinely love Rangers, want to talk about Rangers, want to listen to other people talking about Rangers, want to create things. And I think you're wonderful. I really, really do. And because of that, we don't take the responsibility lightly of what we need to do. And me and all the boys and all the new boys who come in to be part of the podium team, or part of the staff, if you like, are all made aware of that at the start, and they all know it too. I mean, Stephen Harrigan, for example, was advice on the last week. I'm so sorry about that show. I thought your show was great. And he said, well, hasn't been a lot of reaction. It's been up for 4 hours, Steve, and give it time. But that's just how desperate people are to impress you and to have a good show. And it's not about, they want to be famous, or they want to, get loads of attention, or whatever. Because if they did, they would go off and do it on their own. They would put it on YouTube and go, well, I'll get 100,000 views if I'm good. They won't do that. They come here because they want to be part of this. And we're still at 2,000 people, so they know they're not going to be getting recognised when they walk down the street. They're doing it because they want to be part of something, and they want to be part of this experience moving forward. And yeah, well, to be honest, we've got literally 10 times the amount of people I thought we would have by this stage. I thought we'd have, by this maybe 250, 300. So to have, coming up now on 2,200 is utterly remarkable. And now, even Andy and I think, one day we might get to 5,000, one day we might get to 10,000. And by the time that happens, imagine how many shows we'll be on here, how many podders, how many products. And the next stage is to get more video. I'm amateur shoot video, I fully admit it. I want to get guys that can make professional videos for you guys. And you saw tonight, or maybe you did, I hope you did, on RTV, the video we did where I was on their Games of My Life section, and it looked amazing. And that wasn't me, I just turned up and talked. But that's what I want to do. I want to be able to produce that kind of thing for you. And the dream remains the same, that Rangers fans will go to RTV and the website, the Rangers official website for the news, and they'll be able to come at us for their analysis and their entertainment. And that's all we'll need to. We won't need to bother with media outlets that don't like us. And to be honest, that our fans don't like listening to either, but they do it because there's no other option. Interestingly enough, the one thing is that Scott had someone got in contact with him today. He says, and he's a fan of the podcast. He said, I heard David's working for the club now. Scotland. I don't think so. He would have told me. I'm really not. And of course, then that video gets released, which doesn't do my case any harm. But I recorded that months ago, and I'm always happy to help the club. Absolutely, in any way I can. Of course, I'm a Rangers fan. I love Rangers, but work for them, no. And for several reasons. One, the club can't be. So, I mean, we told on our show to 100,000 people that goes public on Monday that the Celtic fans could go fuck themselves, and we used that terminology. The club can't be associated with our podcast, and we understand. I mean, God, you know, the ice dogging, you know, it's the kind of thing we do. And secondly, I don't like people telling me what I can and can't do, and that's why it would never work. And for those of you who know me, my previous job was in social media. I worked in social media and web, and I took redundancy because I had this in mind. And they were offering a lot of money, I'm not going to lie, you know. And the reason it took so long was they offered me a lot of money, and I tossed about for kind of 6 months rather than set this up, so my bad. But just after I'd finished, a job came up at Rangers for digital media officer, and about 20 people came up to me and said, David, you should totally go for that. That's what you did. You know, that reads like your CV. And I'm like, I don't want to work for the club, because one of the things I think I've built up over the years is that you may disagree with me, and you still do, and you still do sometimes stuff I say. You know, that's the thing that people don't understand when they talk about the pod listening. People who don't like us, they'll say, you're listening to that Edgar. And it's like, you guys tell me when I'm talking shit. You tell Alex when he's talking shit. You tell Scott when he's talking shit. You always have. That's why we love it. But one of the things is that I think I've built up over my time in the trust, whether you didn't agree with me or you agreed with me, and the time on the pod, that at least you know it's honest, and at least you know it comes from the heart, and it's not in any way to try to guide you a certain way, or that someone has said to me, David, we need the support to think this. It's just genuinely what I think, and I wouldn't give that up for anything. And I like being my own boss. I like, getting to run this the way I want to run it. So I love the club. I'll do anything I can to help them. Anything they ever ask me to do, if it's reasonable, I will do my best to accommodate it. But I'll always tell you if we're doing something because the club has asked us to. I'll always tell you if we're doing something because someone at the club has come to us and said, would you be able to do this for us? Then sure. And sometimes things come up that's mutually beneficial, like earlier in the season. On one of the pods, we did an interview with Stuart Calvert, who runs the Rangers Match Day Fan Zone, the kids thing. No one at the club asked me to do that. It was Stuart who got in touch with me, and I did it because I thought it was interesting, it was fun. So does that help the club? Maybe, but it's not because I'm working for the club. So you have my word, and if it ever changes and they do come to me, there's one job at the club I would accept, but apparently Graham Murphy has it until the summer. So I'm going to be here doing this at least till then, till they come to their senses and appoint me. All right, folks, I'll let you get to your bed, or if you're abroad, I'll let you get back to work. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this has worked. I hope my 2 dogs over there didn't wake you with their loud snoring. Maya's actually in bed, so you didn't get her snoring. This was Puppy snoring tonight. And I'm going to go off and reply to the emails I've had from some of you, and reply to the comments on the board from some of you and the tweets. And yeah, thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Rangers, for a good transfer window. And I will talk to you all again tomorrow. Bye.